During the holiday season, with all the gift giving, a tremendous amount of new stuff comes into our homes. But what should we do with all of our old treasures we no longer want? Here to tell us more is Chris Nelson, the Supervising Environmental Analyst for RecycleCT. Nice to have you here, Chris.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about RecycleCT.
RecycleCT was a new foundation that was formed this year, and the purpose is to educate people about recycling options statewide. We have a lot of educational material on the DEP website, but we really wanted a foundation that was focused on raising awareness about what people can and cannot recycle.
Well, there's some pretty easy things we could do here
Sure.
to recycle, right?
Yeah, and just a bit more about the organization. We do have a website up now where people can take a pledge. If they pledge to recycle more, they can be entered in to win some prizes, and we also have some tips there for what people can recycle.
That's incentive there.
Yeah, so we wanted to start out with a gift from you from the Hartford office.
Oh,
so,
all right. Open this up. Pretty little box inside. Yeah. Did you recycle the box too?
Well, we might get there.
Ah, there we go. We have a great mug in here. RecycleCT.
RecycleCT. So now you've gotten your gift, and you've got the box. So what do you do with this stuff? We've got
peanuts.
Peanuts.
What do you do with those?
So these cannot go in the blue bin, but what you can do is a lot of times FedExes and places like that will reuse them for when they package stuff up, or also local artist collectives will sometimes use that when they're packaging up their products. So bubble wrap, again, they will take it if it's still in good shape, whether it's the kind of small bubble wrap or the large pillow wrap. And if something comes in a box, obviously that can be recycled as well. So your wrapping paper?
Yes, what do we do with that?
So, a lot of times this just goes into the garbage, but this can actually be recycled. So, last year there was actually in a neighboring town, a high school student started a campaign to let people know they could recycle wrapping paper, and they actually saved several tons. But I guess people don't realize that you can just put this in your blue recycling bin. So
it's just like newspaper, same place?
Same thing. So as you're unwrapping gifts, put this aside and make sure it goes into your recycling bin.
That's a great thought.
Same thing with tissue paper, and like I said, the boxes that it comes in. One other thing is if you're bringing stuff home from the stores, if you're bringing stuff home in plastic bags, this can be recycled as well, but this should not go in your blue bin because it gets stuck in the machinery at the processing plants. So these typically will go back to your grocery store or other places where they'll have containers where you can put this in as you're going into the stores. But this is the kind of material they'll put into like Trex lumber or the plastic lumbers, and so it's definitely a wanted product. It just can't go in through your normal blue bin.
Got it, okay. And I think everyone has these electronics lying around.
Yeah, so this is the time of year a lot of people are getting new iPads and things like that, or new laptops, and we actually have an e-waste or electronic waste recycling program here in the state, and that covers computers, printers, TVs, and that every town is supposed to provide for free, convenient drop-off to residents. Okay. And so if you have questions, if you have old stuff you want to get rid of, contact your town if you don't know where you should bring it. Same thing with old phones. Because of the electronics in the phones, they are valuable and they shouldn't be thrown out. If they're in good working order, they can be donated to shelters and people can reuse them. If they're broken, like this iPhone with a cracked screen, they still should be recycled because of the value of the material in it.
All right.
And a lot of times retailers will have containers in the front of the store to take back phones.
I think I've seen that before, yeah. Okay.
All right, are you ready for a quiz?
I'll give it a shot.
All right, so obviously at the holidays, a lot of us get new clothes, whether we want them or not, socks and things like that. And you probably, like most people, will donate gently worn clothes.
Absolutely.
But the question is, what can you actually donate as far as textiles? So we're going to do a quiz. We have
I would say no to a washcloth.
Okay, no to a washcloth. How about a broken belt?
I don't see a point in that either.
Okay.
Nobody wants used socks with holes in them.
Socks with holes,
Chris.
okay. Kids' pants with a hole in the knee.
Maybe.
Maybe. An old T-shirt.
Sure.
With holes, okay. And a sweater.
Yeah, okay.
A little worn. Bottom line is all this can be donated.
No kidding. Socks with holes in them?
Socks with holes in them. So some of the stuff gets sold locally, and let's say it's a Goodwill, they might sell it locally. If it's stuff where they don't think that they can sell it and use that money to fund their organization, they bundle it up, and actually a lot of it goes overseas to places where they can wear it.
Wow.
If it's like the socks, so they're really torn up, they can sometimes cut those into wiping rags, and a portion of the textiles go off there. Or if it's kind of beyond even being able to be used for a wiping rag, they'll shred it up and use it for insulation.
Well, but you find a different purpose for us. That's great.
So really the only thing that cannot be recycled are materials that are kind of soaked with petroleum type products or mildewy.
Okay,
those
you don't
things
want
should be
that.
thrown out, but anything else, if it's dry and clean, you can donate it.
All right, that sounds good. Chris, we're just about out of time.
Okay.
I know we didn't get to everything here, but obviously recycle. You don't need the wrapping paper, right?
Reuse, reuse packaging. You can recycle Christmas lights. Don't throw them out. And we just get a lot of questions about cartons. So these things, if you rinse them out, can go in the blue bin.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
All right.
And thanks for my gift. I'll enjoy this.
Okay.
And I will recycle.
And we have tips on our website. We have a one-pager up there now. So if people want to go to RecycleCT.org, they can find the one-pager with some holiday recycling tips.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks again.
Thanks.
And